The difficulty of that search was compounded by my own growing humanist outlook, although I wouldn't identify it as such for a long time later. Like the Universalists, I first came to realize that God would not favor one group over another or torture people for eternity. Thus, I became a Universalist at age 11. It took me another 2 decades before I found I could no longer identify as an Orthodox Christian and became a Unitarian in theology, if not in membership. My spiritual quest led me to join First Methodist and then Presbyterian churches in the cities to which I was transferred during my tenure at IBM. I seemed to be constitutionally unable to join something and not throw myself into it completely. I held responsible positions in all those churches, usually in positions relating to finance and stewardship, but some working with youth along the way as well. But it wasn't until IBM transferred me to Tokyo that I found my spiritual home that seemed to truly embody that beloved community for which I'd been searching. Tokyo Union Church is an ecumenical, multicultural, multiracial, multi-generational faith community. It was a joyous place. It fed my soul. What a letdown to come back to the U.S. and try to find that experience in even liberal religious communities where I lived. I now know that more was possible and I wanted it desperately. I needed it. After I retired from IBM and moved to Beaufort, South Carolina, I was talking with a former Presbyterian minister about my quest. She told me about a small group of Unitarian Universalists who were organizing a congregation and suggested I might be home there. And indeed it was, immediately. The first reading on my first Sunday was 576, a litany of restoration by Marjorie Bowen Wheatley. I didn't know her at the time. I was hooked from that moment on. I'd found my religious home after a search of too many decades.
I've got a new freedom, I've got a new spirit, kind of heaven right here on earth. I've got a new power, I've got a new glory, bringing a brand new world to birth.
We grew from 30 to 100 members and were named a Breakthrough Congregation in 2011. I was a president for 5 years of that period. Our Breakthrough Congregation experience, I think, is due in large part to the Reverend Nan White, that Presbyterian minister that introduced me to Unitarian Universalism back when I first came to Beaufort.